Micron is building the pipelines for the AI era. Hear me out here. For decades, memory was treated like a cyclical commodity. Prices rose, factories expanded, supply caught up, and the cycle eventually turned. But AI may actually be changing that pattern. Big tech is now fighting for high bandwidth memory capacity, the way the industrial powers once fought for oil fields, refineries, and pipelines. And Micron is spending tens of billions of dollars to secure its place in this new arms race. The big question is whether these massive factory builds will create a permanent strategic advantage or eventually just flood the market with too much supply. Well, in this video, you're going to learn what Micron is building, why memory has become one of the most important bottlenecks in AI, and how this global capacity race could affect Micron stock from here. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. That's a good thing, because I'm right here with you, breaking down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. Okay, so Micron is one of the world's leading providers of memory and storage solutions. The company makes DRAM, NAND flash, and NOR flash memory for data centers, personal computers, and of course, AI systems. Now, DRAM is what powers servers, PCs, and AI accelerators. NAND is used in solid-state devices and mobile devices. And NOR serves automotive and industrial applications. But of course, the product that matters most in this story is high bandwidth memory, or HBM. Now, HBM is designed for AI training and inference. So it gives GPUs and AI accelerators fast access to the enormous amounts of data that they need to process. And Micron is one of only 3 major global DRAM producers. The other 2 are Samsung and SK Hynix. And that makes the company a critical supplier to the AI supply chain. So Micron is helping build the infrastructure that determines how quickly the AI boom can continue. Now, the AI buildout has shown, it's proven that even the most advanced chips depend on the systems around it. Think GPUs, custom accelerators, and CPUs. They all ultimately rely on the speed and capacity of the memory subsystem. So as AI models become larger and more demanding, memory becomes less like a component and more like a strategic pipeline. And that shift is happening, all while memory supply is expected to remain tight for several years. And many customers have already recognized that the shortage is not going to disappear anytime soon. And industry capacity, well, it might begin improving by 2028, but demand is still all but sold out. Now, you might think that expanding production is the way to go, but it isn't as simple as just adding another assembly line. I mean, fabs are expensive to create, they're slow to build, and they've got long timelines with labor shortages and even regulatory hurdles. And the manufacturing technology is also becoming more and more complex. And Micron has even concluded a multi-year extreme ultraviolet supply agreement with ASML. And that agreement supports the company's adoption of ASML technology for its 1 Delta node and future DRAM manufacturing nodes. This is a very capital-intensive race, and it limits how quickly the industry can respond, even when customers are asking for more supply. And this is really where the oil comparison starts to come together. During the industrial age, controlling oil meant controlling the fields, the refineries, and the pipelines that kept the system moving. But HBM capacity is kind of very similar, because it may play a similar role in artificial intelligence. The companies that control advanced memory production could influence how quickly AI infrastructure expands, who gets access to the supply, and how much those customers have to pay for it. And that's why Micron's factory plans matter way beyond the next earnings report. Now, before I get into those projects, I do want to give a shout out to my community. It's becoming one of the fastest growing investing communities here on YouTube. We talk about specific companies, what they're doing, and even options trading strategies. Now, best part is it's completely free to join. Just scan the QR code on the screen or check for the link in the description, and I'll see you there. Now, going back, Micron's strategic customer agreements, or SCAs, these are giving the company better visibility into long-term demand. So these agreements help Micron plan spending and research with more confidence because now it has a clearer view of what its major customers are going to need in the years ahead. And Micron is currently trying to maximize output from its existing fabs. It's working closely with suppliers to accelerate equipment purchases, installations, and production upgrades. So the goal here is to increase capacity and productivity before the next new project or the next new big project comes online. But don't get me wrong here, existing fabs are not going to be enough. So Micron is expanding its footprint to support long-term supply, especially in leading-edge DRAM. Now, here in the States, the company is investing in its Idaho fabs, ID1 and ID2, along with its planned New York fab cluster. ID1 is expected to begin wafer production in mid this year, and ID2 is expected to follow in late 2028. Micron's also begun initial production of 1-alpha DDR technology in its Virginia facility, and that strengthens its position in automotive, industrial, and defense markets, which are way beyond AI data centers. And that build-out doesn't stop in the United States. At Micron's newly acquired site in Taiwan, the company expects meaningful product shipments from the existing 300 square foot fab by mid-2027. That's about 1 quarter ahead of schedule. Micron's also started construction on a second clean room designed to support extreme ultraviolet equipment and future production nodes. In Japan and Singapore, construction is still on track, and the company plans to turn its Singapore site into an advanced packaging hub supporting its production in Taiwan. And it's also expected to contribute to HBM packaging capacity beginning in the first half of 2027. I'm talking about less than a year away here. So Micron is building a global network of production, packaging, and advanced technology capacity. And if memory really is becoming the pipeline of the AI era, well, that network could become one of Micron's most valuable strategic assets over the next few years. But there's another side of the story here, right? Every new fab that strengthens Micron's position also increases the risk that the industry eventually builds too much. And that same spending that protects Micron today from shortages today could actually pressure pricing tomorrow. I mean, Micron does say that it remains committed to being disciplined from a capital perspective, and the company plans to adjust its supply investments based on market conditions rather than just expanding for the sake of expanding. Still, the numbers do show just how aggressive the build-out has become. Micron expects Capex of around $10 billion in the fourth fiscal quarter. That would bring 2026 Capex to around $27 billion. The company also expects quarterly Capex in fiscal 2027 to exceed fiscal Q4 as it continues to ramp up capacity for long-term demand. But Micron also expects free cash flow to rise significantly in Q4, and after December 9th, the second anniversary of signing the CHIPS agreement, the company plans to increase capital returns. Over time, Micron expects to return 100% of excess cash to shareholders. So management is trying to do 3 things at once here: build capacity, preserve financial discipline, and eventually return all that excess cash to shareholders. Whether it can balance all 3 at the same time will help determine whether the investment cycle actually creates lasting value or sets up the next memory downturn. Well, now let's connect all of this back to the stock. Over the last 52 weeks, Shares of Micron have traded between $103 and $1,255. It's a huge, huge range. The stock has also returned around 651% over that period. Now, after such a powerful AI-driven run, Micron has gone through a sharp correction, and that suggests that investors are taking profits and rotating out of certain AI winners rather than reacting to weaker fundamentals. But it also reveals the market's biggest problem: concern, maybe. Whenever Micron delivers exceptional earnings, investors start asking whether memory prices are near their peak and whether the company's pricing power can actually last. Well, Micron sells DRAM and NAND memory, which are largely commodities, and memory is traditionally moved through sharp booms and busts. Demand lifts prices and profits, producers add capacity, then supply catches up, and margins weaken. So even when Micron appears cheap, Micron investors worry that the earnings that are supporting the valuation today may be actually close to peaking. Now, if you're one of those who thinks that Micron is just too expensive, but maybe you'd rather own it 15 or 20% below where it's trading today, check this video up here, because I talk about how you can sell a put option on a stock you want to buy and get paid to wait for it to potentially fall to your price. And here's the thing: if it does fall, you get to buy the stock and you get to keep the premium you received. Now, going back, Micron currently trades at about 9.2 times earnings. So investors are paying about $9.20 for every dollar of earnings the company generates. Compare that with SK Hynix. It's trading at 20.7. Micron obviously looks like it's trading at a discount. But that discount may actually reflect concern that Micron's AI profits are near their peak and will probably normalize sooner than the bulls expect. Well, the biggest risk is oversupply. Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix are all ramping production aggressively. And if their new capacity eventually pushes supply above demand, memory prices could and probably will weaken. And if pricing weakens, margins will fall quickly because the industry carries such enormous fixed costs. And that's why the factory race cuts both ways. If AI demand stays ahead of supply, Micron's new fabs could reinforce its pricing power and support years of future growth. But if the industry builds too much capacity, those same fads will just create the same cycle that investors are fearing the most. So is now the time to buy Micron? Well, the consensus among 40 Wall Street analysts, they think the stock is a strong buy, and the rating has actually held over the last 3 months. And the average score? 4.68 out of 5, which has actually climbed over the same period. And the target prices suggest there's between 72 and 131% potential upside in the stock over the next year. But look, analyst targets, they aren't the core of my conclusion. The real question is whether Micron's expanding manufacturing footprint is building a durable bottleneck advantage, or maybe it's just simply adding supply to a cyclical market. Well, the bull case is pretty clear, right? Demand continues to exceed supply, which supports strong pricing power. And Micron's strategic customer agreements, they provide better long-term visibility. And its global manufacturing expansion could help it capture more revenue and margin growth. These agreements, they may also help provide protection by securing demand before new industry capacity arrives. But the bear case is just as important. Companies like Samsung and SK Hynix, they're expanding too. If total industry supply grows faster than AI demand, well, pricing power could weaken, and Micron's discounted valuation today may actually just prove justified. So I think the decision comes down to about what you believe about the structure of the memory market. If AI has permanently increased the strategic value of HBM memory, well, Micron's factories may become the pipelines powering the next phase of the AI economy. And in that case, today's earnings may not be the peak, and the stock's valuation could still leave a lot of room for upside. But if memory production catches up faster than expected, well, that whole old boom and bust cycle could actually return. And if that happens, waiting for stronger evidence may actually be the more disciplined move. But now I want to turn it over to you. Do you think Micron is building the strategic pipelines of the AI era, or is it spending too much to create the next memory glut? And do you think that HBM has permanently changed the memory cycle, or will this boom eventually end, just like all of the others? And before I go, did I get any of this right? Did I forget anything? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help others find the video. It supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again here on YouTube or in my community. Bye for now.